be conducted in an orderly fashion. Only the person recognized by the board president may speak. While that member of the public is speaking, members of the audience must not yell or speak out, regardless of whether you agree or disagree. While public comment is in progress, if you speak out, you will be out of order and asked to leave the meeting. As adults participating in a public meeting, we need to model civility to our children and students. On behalf of the Board of Education, we thank you in advance for helping us conduct this meeting respectfully. Our mission statement. The San Marcos Unified School District is an innovative and collaborative community providing an unparalleled educational experience. Through an engaging and supportive environment, all of our students are challenged, inspired, and poised to excel. And then before we begin tonight's meeting, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that today is the 24th anniversary of September 11th, a day of profound significance in our nation's history. We will pause to remember the lives lost, honor the bravery of first responders, and reflect on the resilience, strength, and compassion that united us. This day is a reminder to us that during the worst time, we saw each other, we shared our strength with others, and we got strength from each other. Our humanity and empathy shone brightly. I also want to acknowledge the news involving public figure Charlie Kirk yesterday, which is deeply troubling. We stand in empathy with those who have been affected by his loss. I want to remind, encourage, and plead with each of you that we do not lose sight of our humanity, our faith, our knowledge that despite our different perspectives, each one of us is someone's parent, someone's child, someone's loved one. We are, you are, someone, and that violence is never the answer. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. I'd also like to add that as a board and a district, our focus in San Marcos Unified is clear and unwavering. We are united in our commitment to caring and for supporting our students and staff. We are steadfast in strengthening our schools to ensure an environment where learning and growth can flourish in safety and in peace. Thank you for joining me in this reflection as we now turn to work before us this evening. With that, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Member Carlson, seconded by Member Martin to approve the agenda as presented. Student board representatives, please say your vote.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Report of action taken in closed session. Tonight, the board met in closed session and conferred with legal counsel regarding anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.9D2, one case. No action was taken. Next, we discussed matters pertaining to public employee employment, transfer, appointment, discipline, dismissal, release, evaluation, and reassignment. In closed session today, by motion of Member Ahmad, seconded by Member Miam, the board approved the settlement agreement and release of certified employee number 630908, effective August 18th, 2025, by the following vote. Aye. Ahmad, Carlson, Herrick, Martin, and Miam. No noes and no abstaining. The reminder, the vote of each board member, I'm sorry, that's for me, not for you. Okay. Report by student board members. I'm gonna go first. I like to tell everyone this is my firstborn.
you.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Anar Ahmad, and I will be this school year San Marcos High School Student Board Representative. I'd like to start off with today's presentation topics. The first week around school, around campus, our student highlights, teacher highlights, sports, and what is coming up. For our first week, we had our welcome day on the first day of school. ASB hosted a wonderful day filled with fun events and engaging stations that were aligned with our brand new school maxim. We also held our annual knighthood assembly that brought together all new students and staff to become knights officially. This took part in our ceremonial touching the sword tradition. Around campus, our new motto. Our new skill maxim, we pursue honor, we seek wisdom, and we stand strong. Our focus this school year is to stand united as one Knight community. Our fall sports assembly was conducted to celebrate our football games themed country. We also celebrated the diverse cultures within our school. This is the La Iguana, which is a playful Mexican folk dance that mimics the movements and behaviors of an iguana. As you can see in the video, our school community absolutely enjoyed this at our fall sports assembly. Our student highlights. This is Irene Ha and AJ Turner, SMHS's new ASB co-presidents. They have done a wonderful job at conducting all of our events at San Marcos High School. Our teacher highlights is Mr. Albright. He is a new teacher at SMHS. He teaches ASB and anatomy and physiology. I have him this year and he's amazing. For sports, we have our new SMHS game day account, which is created on social media to showcase our football team's past and previous performances in a way to branch out to our school community and get them excited about upcoming games. What's coming up? Our annual homecoming dance is coming up. Our ASB junior class has been working very hard on planning this year's homecoming. The theme will be Rhythms of Rio. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Madison Sadasua, and I'm the new student board rep for Mission Hills. I hope everybody has had a great first month of school, and I wanted to begin by introducing myself. I started off as a Twin Oaks Coyote, and then I went to a Woodland Park Bulldog, and at Mission, I play tennis and lacrosse. I am also part of IMAP, Crafts for Causes, and Link Crew. To start, I wanted to acknowledge Patriot Day and how the ASB team is connecting to campus. We had a lunch event where students could make cards that we give to our local firefighters and first responders. 9/11 was tragic, and our first responders will always be a crucial role in our safety. So I wanted to shout out Deputy Garcia for keeping our students safe and our school nurse, Miss Michelle, for helping take care of all of our students. Next, we have our athletic spotlights, where our boys water polo team is 2-1, and their next game is against Rancho Bernardo. Our girls volleyball team is 14-2, and they are first in the San Diego County Division III. They have been preparing through summer camps over summer, and they are excited and ready to show their dedication to the season. Our girls flag football team has also been doing really well this year with a record of 9-1. They are 16th in the nation and number 2 in the San Diego section. Our drama department has also been working hard to put on the fall play, and then there were none. They are going through auditions and preparations, and they're ready for their show in November. Next, we have our staff spotlight, Mr. Teicher. He is our freshman leadership teacher, and he is helping create strong leaders who are branching out to their peers to create opportunities in their future high school career. Freshman leadership helps plan lunch events, create campus campaigns, interview staff, and plan team bondings. Mr. Teicher also has recently took over as head of baseball coach this year, and we can't wait to see him expand the program. He's already started with a summer youth baseball camp. Thank you, Mr. Teicher, and all of your support for the freshman Grizzlies. Now, not every freshman can have Mr. Teicher, so our goal as ASB this year is freshman inclusion. So we have both our Link Crew team and our ASB team. Our Link Crew team just had a successful freshman orientation, and as a Link Crew leader, it was really fun to see the new freshman class and get a perspective on how they see all the changes that we have had at our school. They were really excited. We went through tours, we did some team bonding and some small group activities, so that way freshmen have familiar faces around the campus and they already have friends going into the school to help smooth the transition from middle school to high school. Our ASB team, we have a new freshman outreach team this year, and they have been hard at work. They have created videos and lunch events and giveaways to help the freshmen feel connected. As my brother is a freshman this year, and I am starting to understand more struggles that the freshmen are having that sometimes the upperclassmen forget about, and it's really helpful to see how they are reacting to the new school. One example is we just had our Yellow Ribbon Week, which is suicide prevention, and we had posters, we had a Yellow Spirit Day, we were sharing information online, we had a wellness fair and a club rush this week, hoping to get students participating and excited about the new school year and help them understand that we are here for them and all the support that they need, they can find on campus at the school, and that they are not alone. I also want to shout out our peer counseling club, which is new this year, and they helped with the wellness fair, and we can't wait to see more of them in the future at our wellness center and helping students throughout the year peer to peer and not completely adult to students. We are glad to be back and can't wait for a great year. Thank you.
Great job, ladies. Thank you for sharing. I look forward to the rest of your presentations. All right, report by superintendent.
Thank you. So I'm going to go back to 1 month ago when the last time we were here was the day before the welcome back breakfast for all of our staff. So I'm going to go all the way back there and just highlight how much fun we had that day. This was our one opportunity in the school year to have all the entire staff back to kick off the school year, and there's a lot of spirit. It was a really good time. You can see all the teams were all decked out in their stuff, and they had their cheers and everything else. I want to thank our CNS team for putting on the breakfast and for organizing all the food. We want to thank School's First Credit Union who funded it all. So that was a good time as well. Just so much fun to see all the spirit and all the pride that each of our administrative team, all of our teachers, our classified staff have in their schools. Really awesome also to have our students there performing. This was the first time we did the welcome back at San Marcos High, at least since I've been here, and it worked really well. It was actually a nice, little bit more intimate setting for us, and it was really fun. And the kids are just so amazing. They came to perform for us and came to participate even before the school year had started. So we're very excited. Thank you to our board members who were there that day. And I had the opportunity to talk to the entire staff and give them some thoughts for the year and really our commitment to go all in on the important work that we are doing in service to our students and our Portrait of a Graduate and our strategic promise to all 19,000 of our students. So that was fun. The day before school started, that was Monday, we had the grand opening of the new Carrillo field. So that was awesome. I want to just take a minute and thank again the staff and the students and the families at Carrillo for their patience during this very long and arduous process. But they have now a gorgeous facility, now a gorgeous play area, playgrounds and fields. I'm going to go back to this one. The only artificial turf field of this type in the entire county, if I have that correct. This particular grade of artificial turf. So it was a lot of work and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but we now have a really good, solid play area there that's going to withstand all of the water issues that we have in that particular area. So we're very excited about that. Construction at Nob Hill, as you know, is underway. So I want to commend our maintenance and operations teams, our facilities teams, Principal Amy Sanella and her team over there, and Balfour Betty, who's the folks doing the actual work. We spend a lot of time through the summer getting all of the ducks in a row, making all of our plans, but you kind of got to get the kids in there to just kind of see where the adjustments may need to be made. So working very hard from the very first day of school. It was very hot in those first couple of days. Work is progressing very quickly and very smoothly. And I want to thank all the teams for being Johnny on the spot and getting out there and making the tweaks where they're needed. We did hold a coffee chat with the parents out at Nob Hill. Tova Corman, our facilities director, was there, and others were there. That was a success. Got to give them kind of updates on timelines and what to expect, answer questions. We have a dedicated website up now with updates for our families on kind of progress and what's happening. We'll do regular communication to them as well. So we're very, very excited for that. There's no way around a little bit of dust. But I will also say that if you go out there during the school day and you see the trucks doing their dust, there's always a guy out there spraying them to keep the dust down. So it's been good. Then we had our first day of school. So I'll just go through this really quickly. Really positive first day of school. Got to get out to all the school sites, see the teachers in action. We had the cheerleaders from Mission Hills over at the elementary schools welcoming the kids in. Our middle schoolers are back. The cell phone policy is going even better this year, as we kind of had predicted it would go. It's not a perfect thing yet, and not all the kids are huge fans, but as each year goes by, it gets a little bit better. You already mentioned the Sword and the Stone, and so the kids at San Marcos High, as I know we're going to hear from them in a little bit, got to do the freshmen got to touch the Sword and the Stone. That's always fun. Dr. Campbell and her team were out. We have some really, really energetic, brand new teachers to our district. This teacher here is over at LMA, and he was in the new teacher orientation a couple days previous, and he was just, smile ear to ear, and then we got to see him in class, and it was really exciting. No problem. I just want to commend our teachers. So last month I was highlighting all of our kind of back end staff, the support staff that works all through the summer to get things ready. I want to take a moment and just highlight and give a big shout out to our teachers who do a phenomenal job of welcoming students in, setting expectations, making sure that students feel welcome in their warm and welcoming environments. They just do a really phenomenal job. So it's been a very, very positive and very smooth opening. And we're not even a whole month into school yet, but it feels like we are having a busy year already. It's really good. A couple items on tonight's agenda. We'll hear from San Marcos High School. We have a Bay Point Prep Academy item on the agenda, and then Aaron will make a presentation on the 24-25 unaudited actuals, and that will be our meeting. Any questions I can answer for the board?
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to presentations. San Marcos High School, Principal Christina Weil and team.
Good evening, President Sarah Ahmad, trustees, Superintendent Dr. Andy Johnson, and members of the cabinet. As you know, I'm the proud principal of San Marcos High School, and I'm honored to be here tonight to share some of the exciting work that is happening at our school. First, I want to begin with a closer look at who we are. Oh, wait, did I turn it off? Uh-oh, okay. I think I turned it off. It's because I'm principal, doesn't know how to work the remote, apparently, right?
I'm not sure what happened. Let me step in here.
Okay, all right. maybe it wasn't my fault. I just do the down arrow.
No, the right arrow.
Right, okay, perfect, thank you.
Let me just test it.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you, okay,
Right,
now we're
right
ready.
forward, left.
Okay, we're good. As you, oh, here we go. Okay, as you know, San Marcos High School is home to 3,071 students. We're the biggest school in the district, and I believe the biggest school still in the county. So it's a lot of responsibility. But we also love our student. We have a diverse student body. We have around 42% of our students identify as Latinx. Another 42% identify as white, and the rest represent a range of cultural and ethnic backgrounds. We also serve over 200 English learners and nearly 400 students with disabilities. The diversity, I feel, is one of our strengths at San Marcos High School. It shapes our culture and drives our mission to ensure every night feels like they belong and, more importantly, are prepared for the future. So part of this work, last year we decided how to better support our students as we looked at what it truly means to be a knight.
Last year, we launched the process to develop a school motto that reflects the values and our values and vision. We gathered input from students, staff, parents, and community members asking, what does it mean to be a knight? 3 themes rose to the top: character, learning, and community. Working with our leadership teams, we refined that feedback into a simple, powerful statement. We pursue honor, we seek wisdom, we stand united. This motto now anchors our culture and serves as a guide for our work moving forward. Of course, living out that motto begins with our educators. That's why we've also been focusing on strengthening teacher leadership and collaboration.
Like me. So the past 2 years since I've been principal, we've been working on strengthening our instructional leadership team, ensuring that there's a collaborative process and that the leadership drives everything that we do. Part of the work I'm really proud of is I've been working with Principal Nathan Baker at Mission Hills High School and sharing this leadership value and bringing our ILTs together, instructional leadership teams together. And last spring, we actually got the 2 groups together in a whole day PD, and I think it's the first time this has ever happened in 20 years. And we're going to continue this work this year, meeting again in the fall and in the spring. So we're tightly aligned about how to serve best our students. We're also this year focusing on our PLCs, making a commitment to our instructional focus areas and using data to drive our instruction. So this is really something I think is going to create a stronger, more intentional learning culture here at our school. Of course, we know besides educators, we also have a strong purpose with our students. So we've been looking at our experience for our students and particularly how we're serving them outside or preparing them for a future beyond high school.
Good evening, Board. I'm Joshua Knudsen. I'm honored to be able to present to you the information from our career and technical education and how we create future-ready learners. At our school, we offer career pathway training in 7 of the 15 industry sectors that are represented in California. We have 100+ students working in work-based learning, i.e. internships. In 2025, we have up to 89 students and some more in the pipeline that are geared up in healthcare industries with 25+ partners, including Kaiser Hospital right here close by. Dr. Wild.
I did want to say, I see the picture there. I had to point out my mom was in the hospital this last weekend. She's okay. But one of our students from San Marcos High School was attending my mom and giving her towels and waters like that. And that's a picture of my sister with our student. So of course she says she's the fun sister, but it just brought it to home that we are seeing our students out in the community. And when you see a student taking care of your own personal loved one, it just really means a lot.
Aside from the healthcare pathway, which is very robust, we have careers in education. We actually have 8 students who are placed at Discovery Elementary. They're paired up with teachers. They are doing some lesson planning and actually some instruction with these students. So really, really interesting. That's brand new for us. We have students placed in finance, working in finance and accounting firms. We've got a construction pathway. Students graduate from the construction pathway. Not graduate, but they leave with their apprenticeship hours already completed and can start work as a journeyman at their 18th birthday. It's pretty amazing, actually. We've got students placed in biomedical research at UCSD, and we've got district placements as well. We've got students who are working here with our district nurses and elementary school nurses, working with personnel in our graphic design program here, and also with athletic trainers. We have two really, really interesting new pathways that are developing. We're second to third year into our interpretation and translation pathway, and there are only two in the state. So we're really proud of that. And brand new this year with the state-of-the-art lab is our game design. To support all this, we have a dedicated work-based learning coordinator who helps them with resume writing, placement, mentorship, internship, kind of guiding, and also how to do interviews. So we've got a lot of work placed in this. We've got a lot of faith in it, and we do believe this helps our students become future ready. Thank you.
All right, and this year's theme is kind of transformation. And one of the ways that we've transformed our site this year is our extensive support needs program, which is part of the special education program at our site. It's gone kind of a major transformation this year. We've shifted away from a self-contained model to one that's far more inclusive. We have 3 dedicated education specialists that now deliver core instruction in classrooms designed to reflect typical high school settings, whereas before they used to all be in the same room all day, or most of the day. Students are supported in pursuing their certificate of completion or alternate pathway to diploma, making their high school journey richer and much more meaningful. We've seen incredible joy from students and positive parent feedback as they experience a more connected and inclusive San Marcos High School. So supporting students academically is essential, but so is caring for their overall well-being. And at San Marcos High School, we are deeply committed to creating caring systems and having a united community.
Good evening. I'm Jesse Midland, Assistant Principal, and I'm very proud and privileged to get to work directly with our counselors and social workers. So I thought I'd present some of the highlights from our year last year and to represent the great work that we do at San Marcos High School. So last year we had 71% of our seniors meet A through G requirements. We had a 99.6% graduation rate, and we had over 76, almost 77% of our students either complete the FATA or the CADAA, which is the California Dreamer Act, for financial assistance for post-secondary education. Our social worker highlights, we have students working with True Care, where they get an apprenticeship and are directly supporting the needs of other students with mental health needs. It's a fantastic program. They actually get paid for that work with True Care. We have a food pantry, which every week provides foods directly to our families in need. And then last year, between our counselors and social workers, we had over 6,350 plus student check-ins that are documented. I'm sure there were countless others where our support staff are touching students and making a difference in their lives. So a really, big number to highlight the great work that goes on. Along the same lines, one of the greatest blessings of San Marcos High School is that it's a huge school. And with that comes a lot of programming and a lot of options for students. So rather than me continuing to talk, we brought in a couple of our students to step up and tell you about some of the programming at San Marcos High School.
Good evening, SNUSD board members. My name is Joseph Warner. I'm a senior at San Marcos High School, where I'm the ASB videographer, National Honor Society co-president, and member of our Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. San Marcos prides itself in its commitment to standing united, but a student body cannot stand united without including and listening to each and every group. I'm here with Sean Coates. Sean and I are both members of our unified ASB class at San Marcos, which allows our special ed students, who we call leaders, to participate fully in our ASB events. Real quick, Sean, what do you like most about our unified ASB class?
Like, they're awesome and they're helpful, like the recycling, stories, and then like that great stuff.
All right, thank you, Sean. Multiple times this semester, we plan modified athletic events with unified programs at other schools, most notably La Costa Canyon High School. These events give our leaders the opportunity to contribute to a school event made just for them. At these athletic events, we call our leaders the Shining Knights. So remember the Shining Knights events when we were playing against LCC? What do you like about those?
They're very cool.
They're very cool, yeah. They got uniforms and such and play against the other unified programs. We also have a variety of other programs and initiatives at SMHS dedicated to standing united. Our Raising Student Voices and Participation program, or RSVP, draws together comments and concerns from across the student body and proposes solutions to these concerns to administration. Our various affinity, equity, and cultural groups and clubs around the San Marcos campus ensure that everyone feels represented and that they belong. And our Link Group program, of which I'm a member, uniquely runs throughout the entire academic year to ensure that incoming freshmen are oriented, involved, or at least have an upperclassman on campus as a friend. Overall, the San Marcos High School student body is committed to ensuring that each and every voice is heard. We stand united. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a picture of our staff this year. As you can see, we're very proud of the work we're doing. We're going to keep doing great things for our students and our staff. And I just want to thank the board and the cabinet for all your support. Thank you.
All right, moving on to communication session. Per Education Code 35145.5, the Government Code 54954.3, members of the public have the opportunity to provide public comment on any agenda item, as well as any non-agenda item that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. Per Board Bylaw 9323, individual speakers will be allowed up to 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item, except for our union representatives who will have 5 minutes. In accordance with Board Bylaw 9323, public comments will be limited to 20 minutes per topic. In an effort to hear as many speakers as possible, comment times may be shortened depending on the number of comments received. Generally, if there are 7 or fewer speakers, each speaker will be given 3 minutes. If there are 8 to 10 speakers, each speaker will be limited to 2 minutes. If there are 11 or more speakers, each speaker will be limited to 1 minute. One speaker's time may not be ceded to another speaker. If there are more than 20 speakers, which would consume more than 20 minutes, all speakers who are not able to speak during the 20 minutes allocated to each item will have the opportunity to address the board at a specific time later in the meeting. This meeting will allow the board to conduct the board's business during the meeting. Per the Brown Act, members of the board are very limited in their ability to respond to statements or questions made during public comment. Unless an item has been placed on the published agenda, there shall be no deliberation or action taken. The board may 1, acknowledge the receipt of that information and report and comment, 2, refer to staff for further study, or 3, refer the matter to the next agenda. A recording is made of all open sessions of the governing board. Again, on behalf of the Board of Education, we thank you in advance for helping us conduct this meeting respectfully. Susie, do we have any speakers?
Yes, Darlene Maza.
She's on the same topic. Sure, or Kelly, either one. Good evening, board members. My name is Deborah Caswell, and I'm the proud mom of Gracie Caswell. That's the only line I knew I should take out. I'm going to be fine now. She's a junior at San Marcos High School. Gracie has Down syndrome and has been a part of both the SPED program and the Shining Knights program, which is led through Inclusion ASB by Bonnie Bagri. I'm here tonight with deep appreciation and real concern. So let me start with what's going well, which you all just heard a lot about. We began to see the transformation last year in Bonnie's ASB inclusion class, where Gracie's confidence and connection with peers really started to grow. And now with the new structure of the SPED academic program, it's called something else now, ESN, I guess, where she moves between different classrooms and teachers for each subject, her engagement and joy have grown even more. So for the first time since probably 7th grade, she's coming home. She's a junior. She's coming home talking to us about what she's learning in English and math. She points out every time I use an adjective now, this is new. And she's also talking to us about math concepts, which has been amazing. That is in what, 3 weeks of school? That's what she's gained. This change has made her feel seen, valued, and capable, and as parents, that means everything. So please continue to support this shift in the ESN program. In that department, it's working and it's making a real difference, especially for Gracie. So thank you. We didn't know they were going to be here tonight, so that was really fun. All right, so I'm here on 2 issues though. But what I'm here tonight to speak about is what didn't work. So earlier this year, Gracie tried out for the cheerleading team after hearing from the new coach that the team would be inclusive this year. She showed up to every practice, she worked hard, she learned the routines, and she had an incredible time. But behind closed doors, it had already been decided that she wasn't truly being considered. When we were finally brought in for a conversation, we were told by the athletic director and by one of the APs that Gracie just wasn't good enough to make the team. And we were asked, how do you think the parents of the other ones who didn't make the team, how would they feel if they saw that Gracie did? Now, I'm sure you all understand that this is not inclusion at all. Inclusion is in addition to, not instead of. If you have room for 20, Gracie makes 21. Instead of honoring her tryout, the school chose to expand the Shining Knights program, a program Gracie's already in and Gracie loves. We absolutely love that program. But it was never meant to be a replacement for the real opportunity she was reaching for. This plan was being developed behind the scenes without any communication to us, even after we had signed up to purchase her uniform, her yard sign, and all the other stuff that goes along with
I'm
it.
sorry, Deborah, that's 3 minutes. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna miss the worst part. I mean, the best.
Did you,
I will make sure that staff has your contact information. We'll be sure to follow up.
Okay.
Did you-
Copies.
yeah, you can leave that with us. Yes, please. Thank you. Is the timer, oh, okay.
You are missing out. I'm sorry, but you're missing out on. I think I have 30 seconds left. I mean, if you don't mind. Okay. Okay. No, but I mean, 30 seconds of my conversation. I'm just asking for.
Deborah Caswell. That was Deborah. I'm sorry. Darlene. I'm confused. Let's see if the timer works this time. If not, please give me just 1 second. Is that on the screen? It's not popping up on the screen. Okay, let me get it on my phone so you can hear. I'll talk real fast.
While Susie's doing that, the platform that hosts the board agendas now just switched on us this past month. So this is our first night with this new system. So we'll make sure we get that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, board members. My name is Darlene Meza, and I have been working on the issue of inclusion in cheer since my daughter, Caitlin Meza's sophomore year. I have followed every appropriate step, meeting with the coaches, athletic director, assistant principal, director of special education, superintendent, and here, the board. Yet after years, I'm here tonight to tell you that nothing has improved. In fact, things have gotten worse. From somebody who works with the administration, they have stated no student in special ed will be allowed to participate in extracurricular activities after last year. That statement is shocking, discriminatory, and direct violation of federal guidance from the Department of Education and the Office of Civil Rights. And for that reason, when I heard that, I filed complaints with the Department of Education, the Office of Civil Rights, and the Department of Justice ADA Division. Let me give you the lived reality that my daughter Caitlin, during her senior year, after being on the cheer team since her freshman year, endured. She was told she could not attend camp, not because the camp wouldn't allow her, but because the coaches said no. She was excluded from practices, from team bonding events like beach workouts and scavenger hunts, and even from pre-game call times, where her peers had team experience of face paints and camaraderie. She is denied opportunities to perform at rallies and community events, even though she had done so in previous years. She was labeled as an honorary member in her senior year, despite having the earned place as a full member since her freshman year. Communication was cut off from me as a parent, even while other parents had direct access. And in some cases, she was invited to attend events only to be sidelined once she arrived, left out of the performance she came for. This is not inclusion. This is not equity. This is discrimination. The school continues to confuse sideline cheer with competition cheer, applying the wrong rules and failing to recognize that sideline cheer is a club. Other districts in our region, Poway Unified example, fully integrates their students with disability in the cheer program. And we have one here tonight, proving that it can be done safely, successfully, and joyfully. Caitlin entered high school excited to be a part of something bigger than herself, yet left high school year with her senior year stripped of those memories, not because she couldn't do it, but because adults refused to see past her disability. The Department of Education has made it clear students with disabilities must be given equal access to extracurricular activities. Yet here, barriers were created, supports denied, and excuses were made. I urge this district to take immediate corrective action, not just for Caitlin, whose time has passed, but for every ESN student who deserves the chance to belong, to be valued, to participate fully in the high school life. This board must ensure that the inclusion is not just a slogan, but a practice lived out every activity of every student. Anything less is unacceptable. Perfect.
Kelly Ware.
Hi, I'm Kelly Wire. I'm the mom of a freshman. I knew I shouldn't have said her name either. Isabella Wire, which some of you have known. And I'm here just to advocate for her tonight. And it's hard to talk about your kid. It's like I said, I'm gonna be fine. Just come up here and talk about her. I'm also advocating for her to be included in all things San Marcos High School. So in the beginning of the year, we were told that she was going to be a part of the cheer team and would have that opportunity of inclusivity. And then it turned that we didn't hear any information and we weren't told what was happening and if she was or wasn't. And the heartbreaking part was that she wanted to know every single day, did I make the team? And I didn't know what to tell her because I didn't have an answer. If she didn't care, I wouldn't care, but because she does, I do. So on the second home game, she was able to cheer with the Knight, along with Gracie and some other girls, and she had the time of her life, the confidence that I saw I've never seen before. Thank you. And she immediately had to call some people, her cousins, her friends, and said, I have some great news to share. I'm on the cheer team. And she wants to know when she can wear her uniform, when she can go to practice, and when the next game is that she can go to. So I'm here to say that I want her to be included in those things so that she can continue the confidence that she's already exuded. In only one time that was with no practices, not knowing any of the girls. And I just see like this shining, sparkling side to her that I've never seen before. We were in the neighborhood the other day and someone asked, do you play a sport? And she said, I do. I cheerlead for San Marcos High School. And I want you guys to allow her and everyone else to have a chance to be with her peers, shine the light that she can light, and allow others to see what she can do. I know that if she's not able to do 100% of the job, I've never expected her to be able to do 100% of the practices, the games, the pyramids, all the things. But if she's able to do 75%, I would love her to be included and allowed to do 75% of those. Thank you.
Michaela Thomas.
Oh, there's more.
Okay, I'm gonna try to follow that, but I'm already emotional. Um, okay, so good evening. My name is Dr. Makila Thomas, and I'm the Director of Equity and Inclusion Initiatives for a statewide nonprofit. I'm also the second Vice President of the North San Diego County Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and an Executive Board Member of the North County NAACP. I'm also a former educator of 10 years and the mother of a varsity cheerleader on the San Marcos High School team. So in all of my roles, and honestly in all of my daily life, anytime I hear of injustice, I feel it's my responsibility to speak up. So today, that injustice is the exclusion of students with disabilities from participating on high school sports teams. Sports are not just games, they are classrooms for leadership, teamwork, perseverance, and belonging. To deny any student with disabilities the chance to participate is to deny them access to the full educational experience that every student deserves. Our law makes this clear. All of the federal laws, Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act ensures that students with disabilities cannot be excluded from school programs, including athletics, simply because of their disability. And here in California, the Education Code Section 220 prohibits discrimination on the basis of disability in any school program or activity. So the law is clear. Inclusion is not optional, it's required. But beyond what the law says, we know what's right. When schools make space for students with disabilities on the field, the court, the track, and in the classrooms, they aren't giving those students a chance. They're giving all students a chance to learn what true equity looks like. They're teaching resilience, empathy, and the power of diversity in action. So today I ask all of us as educators, administrators, coaches, community leaders, neighbors, family, and friends to commit ourselves to making sure that every student has the access and opportunity to the lifelong lessons of sports, and not just for a photo op like we saw earlier, but for true inclusion. Educational advocate Rita Pearson delivered a powerful TED Talk called Every Kid Needs a Champion. I suggest you check that out. It's really great. And she says, every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists they become the best they can possibly be. So in conclusion, I hope this board takes heed and be the champions that these kids need. Thank you.
Ursula Eddy.
Really can't follow up after all these strong mothers over here. But I'm Ursula Eddy. I'm a proud parent of students at San Marcos High School and San Alejo Middle School. I'm a San Marcos Unified employee, a proud parent of a cheerleader, and more importantly, I'm a person that believes in equal access for all students to participate in school activities, no matter what gender, race, or special needs that they have. Before I talked about my speech, I wanted to finish up Deborah Caswell's speech. Gracie wasn't asking for special treatment. She was asking for a chance to be part of a team, to grow, to be included. She was excluded from the very cheer practices where she could have learned the routines. We were told it was unsafe because of stunting. Yet in July, they figured out how Gracie could attend the conditioning and cheer portions of practice for 1 week as a consolation for her exclusion. What she needed was support, not separation. This isn't about being at the level of her typical peers. It's about access, equity, dignity, and inclusion, not in name, but in action. We're seeing inclusion work in her academics. We're seeing Gracie thrive with the right support. We now ask the same spirit be extended to all parts of the school, including extracurriculars, so that students like Gracie aren't excluded by default. Thank you for listening and for continuing to build a school where all students truly belong. That's from Deborah Caswell. As a parent, I was shocked to learn that these two beautiful girls, Gracie and Bella, were not being allowed on the San Marcos cheer team. Yeah, come on, paper. Even more shocking was when I read the San Marcos High School Digest email on August 12, 2025 regarding the school's welcome message. Dr. Wild, the principal of San Marcos High School, stated, "I'm honored to lead a school where excellence, equity, and belonging go hand in hand. The decision to keep these young girls off the San Marcos High School cheer team does not reflect Dr. Wild's mission statement." Dr. Wild goes on to say, "We are committed to creating learning environments that are safe, inclusive, and challenging, where every student is known, supported, and inspired to grow." We want San Marcos High School to be a representation of the words she wrote in her San Marcos High School welcome message. We want to create a culture where inclusion is valued. When taking our concerns into consideration, please remember all girls matter, not just the ones that fit a certain mold.
John Mosher.
Before we go,
Oh.
that's it. I was just, Dr. Johnson, can you follow up with the parents and staff about this matter, please?
Yeah, I'll just say that I am personally aware of the concerns that have been raised. I've had many number of discussions with our special ed team and with our with the school administration as well, and I will continue to follow up and we'll make sure that we get the resolution of this matter.
Good evening, Board. My name is John Mosier. I'm here with SEMRA, San Marcos Mobile Home Residents Association. I've been looking at how our school districts have been reaching out and including more trade, learning, and also the type of electronic stuff that we're getting into. And I've wondered how we can take the knowledge our seniors have and share that with our students as they're going through school. And I had a chance to talk to a few of the board members at the end of the year event here. And I understand that there's a potential for a community service aspect of their schooling. And I've wondered how we can mix the two. And as I interact with the seniors and the mobile home parks around the city and see all the different experiences and knowledge they have, I don't want to lose that. I want to find a way to share it. It's something I wish I could have had growing up. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. And Dr. Campbell, I've been referred to you. So before I send you an email, I wanted to talk here and let you know who I am and why I'm doing it. The other thing I'd like to say is that when Sharon Jenkins was on the city council, I got used to hearing some input as to what was happening in the school district. And also at our Chamber of Commerce, we have our government affairs meeting once a month. We had one this morning. And I got used to somebody showing up and bringing us up to speed. And I missed it this morning. I missed it during the summer, but I missed it this morning too. But if we could start doing that again, it would be really helpful. Thank you.
There are no more speakers.
Moving on to our action agenda, public hearing, wait, I'm sorry, report by board members. Item 8, does any board member have anything to report or say? Nope, okay. We'll move on to action agenda, public hearing, charter petition renewal for Bay Point Preparatory Academy, San Diego. Tiffany?
Tonight, we hold the second public hearing for the charter petition renewal for Bay Point Preparatory Academy. Tonight, the governing board must either grant or deny the request to renew the charter to renew the charter. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Agualo from Bay Point Preparatory Academy up to present.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Board Chair Ahmad, District Board members, Superintendent Johnson, and District staff. My name is Franco Guaro, the CEO of Bay Point Preparatory Academy. We would like to thank the district for their review and consideration of this charter renewal submission, and to this board for their consideration in today's decision. We appreciate the time that by the district staff in their review of our petition and supporting materials. However, we're extremely disappointed by the recommendation for denial. Bay Point is one of the few high-performing charter schools in San Diego County. The Charter Schools Act provides a legal presumption that all high-performing charter schools would have their charter renewed because of their educational programs have been successful. This is why high-performing schools qualify for 7-year renewal terms. We believe it is unwarranted to deny renewal of a high-performing, well-established school in this community for initial concerns that were immediately addressed and additional reasons such as language was missing in the petition to address more recent updates to Ed Code. The staff report unfairly flips the legal standard and implies that our renewal must be denied because it is not legally compliant due to some minor issues. To be clear, the law does not require the governing board deny our renewal. The staff report and proposed findings simply give the governing board an option to consider. The default position under the law is that the governing board shall not deny renewal for a high-performing charter school like Bay Point unless there are substantial issues that cannot be cured. There are no such issues here. Due process allows a corrective action plan, and in this instance, the corrections were provided and have been implemented. Bay Point is a prime candidate for renewal. I'd like to respond to the findings supporting denial of the petition in the staff report, explaining how the allegations do not support denial and potential closure of Bay Point. The staff report recommends denial because our renewal petition does not reasonably describe how we recruit a balance of English learners and special education students that is reflective of the district. As stated on page 138 of the renewal petition, Bay Point describes its commitment to serving families across North County, San Diego, and aims to reflect the demographic composition of local district schools. There are various ways that we specifically target English learners and special education students in our recruitment efforts. Our efforts have actually been successful. Bay Point serves a population of English learners of 14.8% and currently serves 19.1% of students with special needs. This is clear evidence that we are successfully implementing a plan to achieve a demographic balance of students that is reflective of the district, which is the purpose of describing the plan in the charter in the first place. The staff report recommends denial because the school's address is allegedly not identified in the renewal petition. This is not true. Bay Point has operated at 520 East Carmel Street in San Marcos for over 5 years. Our address is clearly reflected in 5 of the appendices that are part of the renewal petition. If the governing board wants our address to be identified in a specific section of the renewal petition, we can accomplish that via technical amendment. District staff cited Ed Code that the charter school is demonstrably unlikely to successfully implement the program set forth in the petition due to substantial fiscal factors. The section of the staff report based on the district's notice of substantial fiscal and governance factors and concerns dated July 3rd, for which Bay Point responded on August 4th, fully responded and addressed the concerns in the notice. We were surprised that they were cited in the staff report as support for denial. They're simply not the kind of concerns that would cause a high-performing school to be demonstrably likely to successfully implement the program in its own current charter petition. The evidence is irrefutable. Bay Point students met or exceeded the district average based on every indicator on the most recent California school dashboard. In addition, Bay Point has outperformed in ELA math and science based on the most recent CAS results. We have been successfully operating our program for 7 years, and we're more than capable of continuing to do so in the next renewal term. Regarding our ADA projections, it is important to recognize that Bay Point is a single small school. We're able to recognize issues and respond to them quickly and appropriately. This is how we've always approached our financial forecasting. A renewal budget is simply a snapshot in time. We make all necessary adjustments in the budget, including ADA revenue and expense projections once the school year starts. This is not a legitimate concern. There's no legitimate concern that Bay Point will not be able to operate a program because of fiscal factors. We have a proven track record of success in academics, operations, finances under the oversight of CDE. As for our current enrollment, the school year has started strong, and we're still enrolling new students. Our leadership team and financial consultant met and are monitoring enrollment stability as we plan the revised budget for the first interim update, which will ensure a budget surplus this year. As a final note, to the staff report misrepresents the law about the governing board's decision on the renewal petition. Education Code Section 47605B requires that the district post the staff recommendations at least 15 days before the board's decision. The law does not prohibit the governing board from considering additional information provided by petitioners between the 15-day posting deadline and the board meeting. In fact, the governing board has the discretion to reject staff's recommendation outright. The governing board does not have to adopt findings to approve a renewal petition. Approval can be accomplished by a motion to approve the renewal petition for a 7-year term, a second, and a majority vote in favor of the motion. When considering support for this school, your decision is made in part by determining the support of this school in the community. We ask you to stand with past and present families who advocate for school choice in San Marcos. You receive letters of support as well as opposition. The ability for families to choose the optimal educational environment for their child is a great thing. The school has been recognized as high performing for 2 consecutive years. Therefore, it is imperative to ask, is it truly in the best interest of students to close a school where they are academically thriving? This is a small school, but a critical option for families. The school serves 62% English language learners, economically disadvantaged students, and foster youth, and 19.1% of students with special needs. Are their voices being represented in a decision to deny this option? These students are the quiet majority of the school option. Bay Point provides a vital environment where students with diverse learning differences can thrive. We urge you to do what is best for students. Our students have experienced tremendous academic success in our small learning environment. We mirror and serve our community. They are here now. As a parent, you would always want to choose how your child is educated. It is important to acknowledge that these children and parents are choosing Bay Point as their option. San Marcos should continue to be a leader in this area. Your decision tonight will directly impact these students, some of whom have attended Bay Point since kindergarten. If you vote to approve this resolution, you're voting to close a high-performing, safe school. Don't take that choice away from these children. We respectfully request the district board reject the staff report and approve the Bay Point renewal petition for a 7-year term. We would appreciate the opportunity to continue building upon our successes for years to come in partnership with the district. Thank you so much. We're available for any questions.
Okay. All right, this public hearing is now open. Susie, is there anyone who wishes to speak?
We have 11 speakers.
All right, so with 11, I know that you said 1 minute, but I'm actually going to say in effort to hear as many speakers as possible tonight, comment times are going to be shortened to 2 minutes each. Okay.
Okay, Jonathan Perez with Terry Saline next.
So this is our first time addressing the board, and we're really excited to be here. Thank you for listening to us. Our story is we enrolled Ellie in the public school, and this was during my wife's pregnancy for our second kid. And a week before my wife gave birth, we got a call. Hold on. We got a call from the district that the district was impacted and there was no room for Ellie. And it was very stressful, as you can imagine. And this was actually 3 days before my son was born. And so I had heard from a friend about Bay Point, told my wife, she applied, and so just a backstory, when she applied for Ellie, it was months that we didn't hear back. And then this was middle of July that we hear there's no room. We apply at Bay Point. Within 24 hours, there's a response. There's, yes, please provide the rest of the application. There is room for her. We're going to accept her. Can you imagine my wife's relief just 2 days before giving birth? And then Ellie wants to say something. What do you think about your school?
I love my school so much.
And your friends and teachers?
My friends and teachers.
What's your favorite subject?
Playing outside.
Oh, what about the other subjects? Science experiments,
I do.
math,
Math.
reading?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'd really appreciate you guys considering keeping this option open for us. I'm a San Marcos resident. We've been in San Marcos for 10 years. This is where my daughter and my son were born. This is our community. This is a great option for us. It is 5-6 minutes from our house. The convenience and everything about it has been phenomenal. So thank you for considering it and listening to us.
Dietrich is next.
Thank you for your time. When we applied for enrollment, the twins, in 2024, it was not a guarantee that they would both get in. At that time, there were 80 applicants, would have exceeded the capacity, so entry was based on lottery. Ellie was the second choice. We were like, yes. And then it went on and it went on and it went on. And finally, Easton was the second to the last to be chosen to get in. So we were very ecstatic that both of them were able to attend the school. We feel strongly in parent choice of schools, and we definitely wanted a small school. In addition to its size, 4 other aspects of Bay Point determined this school as our choice. It has a top performing designation. It required uniforms, which mitigates unkindness and social judgment. The looping model, which we love, and the fact that that it's a closed campus, which heightens safety and security. It's my understanding that the concerns of the district were acknowledged and a corrective action plan was provided, and as of today's date, they have been implemented. The sudden withdrawal of students last year dealt an unfair blow to the school, I believe. Their decision to leave should have ended there, but they provided letters of opposition, encouraging, I believe, the denial of the charter renewal. Those opinions are not what they shouldn't speak for me, and I don't think they speak for the rest of those in support tonight. So I would like to ask you to please give the school a second chance to grow in the community by granting its renewal. Would you like to say something, Easton and Ellie? Say it right there to them.
Dietrich? Yes. Dietrich?
Good morning. Hello, my name is Dietrich and I live at 669 Townside Drive in Vista. I've been going to Bay Point since the first grade, and now I'm in the 7th. Bay Point has been a great support system. When I got there, I had to take speech classes because when I went to another school, they said kids will have problem understanding me. Because of Bay Point and my parents, I can speak clearly now. Please don't close Bay Point down because we're just not friends, we're family.
Priscilla Nelson with Kara Arango after.
Hello, my name is Priscilla Nelson. So talk about my grandson real quick. My grandson goes to Paloma. My daughter called me screaming and crying. They lost the baby. They lost the 5-year-old grandson. What do you mean they lost him? He's missing. He's not at the place he's supposed to be, which is the after-school program. Long story short, the bus driver left him on the bus. All the other kids were gone. And oh my God, left him on the bus. So we were losing it. My 5-year-old baby who has an IEP, okay? That would have never happened at Bay Point. Never happened at Bay Point. With all this stuff going on. And then they had the audacity to say it was his fault because he fell asleep and he's 5 years old. Okay, so I don't want to be a part of any other community unless it's Bay Point, because like my son said, Bay Point is more than just a school, it's a family. And if I can't feel protected or have my children feel protected in a place, I don't want them there. This is our choice. This is our school. This is our school and it's our choice. Don't take that from us. Don't do that. Don't take it from us. I don't care how you may feel about Mr. Frank. I don't care what you may feel about whatever. When is it going to be about our babies, about their education? It's all about them. These children are our future, but they cannot be our future if we as adults are selfish. Let's wake up, professionals. Let's wake up.
Okay. My name is Kara Rongo and I'm a Bay Point parent. It's nice to see a former Bay Point charter parent here on our board. I stood here 7 years ago when our school was Bayshore. I'd never believed that the school board would say no to us, but they did. It was heartbreaking to know that the lost dollars were more important than providing a parent a school of choice. Thank goodness for the California Department of Education who gave us that choice. We live in a community where there is a choice for absolutely everything you can think of. The local school district should not be the only entity with no competition or choice for their clients. Parents make choices based on headlines and what other people say. Your website, SMUSD, says you are innovative and a collaborative community providing unparalleled education experience. But not every student is feeling this mission or having this unparalleled education experience. I'm so sad for the cheerleaders. My gosh. Some parents need a choice. Parents have bad experiences in their schools, and you guys don't necessarily see those headlines. Parents talk about those experiences in our community events where I volunteer, my kids' soccer team. These are some of the things that I've heard over the last couple of years. Joey's mom said, after the school district couldn't figure out how to manage my son, they gave me a deadline. If he doesn't meet these goals, you need to go somewhere else. Alex was never diagnosed with dyslexia until he came to Bay Point, where it was identified immediately, and now he's thriving. Santiago did kindergarten all the way through 5th grade at Twin Oaks in your bilingual program. He doesn't speak any Spanish. He's starting 6th grade at Bay Point, where his diagnostics measure him at the 2nd grade level for math and reading. He told me that this is the most happy he's ever been at school. These are some headlines that I pulled up from the last 5 years. Just recently, August 2025, a lawsuit alleging wrongful termination over trans athlete stance. January 2024, ongoing fallout from 2020 layoffs and enrollment decline. October 2022, Mission Hills principal placed on leave after a concern was raised. May 2022, layoff notices partially rescinded after backlash. Please don't close our school. We need a choice.
We have Sarah up next, and then Kalia after that.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Budfalowski and I'm in 6th grade. I've been at Bay Point since kindergarten, and this school feels like my second home. The teachers, staff, and kids here feel like a big family. I especially love Mr. Wong. He was my teacher last year and he's my teacher this year. He's always been really supportive. I also want to mention Mr. Frank, Miss Char, and Miss Gray for all they do to help us learn and make school exciting. One of my favorite things at Bay Point is archery. I've gone to nationals twice, and last year I was ranked 2nd in California in the elementary girls division. I'm really proud of that, and it wouldn't have been possible without the support I get here. I also like that the younger girls in elementary can see me and know they can do it too. Bay Point is a place where we get to try new things, learn, and support each other. I really hope the school can continue for many more students because it has made a big difference in my life. Thank you for considering Bay Point's renewal.
Good evening. My name is Kalia Pendergrass, and I'm in seventh grade. This is my third year at Bay Point. I love my school. The teachers and staff make learning engaging. They care about us. Mr. Hellingson, Miss Bud Fulowski, Miss Char, and Mr. Frank especially do so much for our school, and I'm thankful for them. One of my favorite things about Bay Point is archery. I've been able to go to nationals twice, and last year I finished first in the state for middle school girls. That never would have happened without Bay Point giving me the chance to try something new and believe in myself. This school is special. It's more than just classes, it's a community where students feel supported and encouraged. I want to keep going here, and I want other kids to have the same opportunities I've had. Please renew Bay Point's charter so we can keep learning, growing, and aiming high. Thank you.
Josiah and RJ.
Hi, my name is Josiah Cruz, and I hope you take the time to visit our school and see what it really means to the students here. Bay Point isn't just a school, it's a place that helps us grow, feel safe, and believe in ourselves. The teachers and staff truly care about us. They don't just teach subjects like math, English, science, and social studies. They make learning feel important and exciting. We also have awesome activities like Spanish, theater, and archery that give us the chances to explore what we love. Personally, this school has made a huge difference in my life. I've had teachers who supported me when I struggled, classmates who've made me feel included, and a school community that always believed in me. I've learned more than just facts. I've learned confidence, responsibility, and how to be part of something bigger than myself. The idea of not being able to stay at Bay Point honestly is heartbreaking. I can't imagine leaving behind the people and place that helped shape who I am. And I know I'm not the only one. Many of my friends feel the same way. This school matters to us. It's where we feel seen, supported, and inspired. Please don't just look at Bay Point as another school. Come see the heart of it. Come see what it means to the other students who are lucky enough to be here. Thank you for listening.
Good evening. My name is RJ Hernandez. I'm father to 2 children here at Bay Point. So I urge you to renew the charter. I know in March 2018, the district denied Bay Point's petition, but the Board of Education approved it on appeal. So then if that's going to happen, why do we need a board if the Board of Education is going to overwrite what you guys are doing? The course of action invites, or not accepting, invites avoidable litigation against the district. Taxpayer resources belong in the classrooms, not defending you guys. We should be investing in the students and making schools a lot better than they are, not in protracted legal defenses. Fiscal enrollment assertions. Okay, so the district's generic claim of declining enrollment is unsupported on the public record. If the board intends to rely on enrollment 88 to deny, produce the audited figures and multi-year trend at the meeting and tie them to the appropriate statute and findings. Parents and students, including my kids and myself, rely on Bay Point for educational opportunities not otherwise available here. Families report difficulty finding open seats in other district schools. Closing off a public option without a data-based reason reduces access and harms students. I'm a residential developer. Let me make it plain. School quality and governance are gating factors in whether new homes and the tax revenue that they bring come to this area. By signaling this instability, you are pushing growth, jobs, families into other cities. It's self-inflicted damage. Families pick the school first and the neighborhood second. In our underwriting, school options and performance drive absorption and pricing. By signaling its instability only working to decrease options, the district erodes the business case for new homes and the local revenue that comes with them. As such, today's posture degrades the area's investment profile and its fiscal health. Competing areas are courting projects like mine, residential projects, with stable school environments, not like this. Keep this up and you'll be funding their budgets, not yours. Worst case, we have, if this doesn't happen, I have no problem putting it, I've already put some money into fund challengers for the district. So
That's, yeah,
we're at time?
yeah, our time, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Urge you to renew or we'll find a new district. $10,000 already down.
Kathy with Susanna after. Kate? Kathy? Nguyen? Kathy Nguyen? With Susanna Diaz after.
Good evening, everyone. So this is actually the first year of my daughter attending Bay Point, but previous to that, she's attending a private school in Escondido. She did have a good time there. However, she fell behind in her academics. So I grew very concerned when that happened. So then I decided to quickly look for schools, and I mentioned to her father that we would be switching schools. And thankfully, I came across Bay Point Preparatory, and same thing, when I emailed them, they immediately replied back. And I was pleased to hear that, they were willing to offer me a tour. So, but unfortunately, I couldn't do it right away. But then I got to communicate with Miss B and also Mr. Frank, and they were very nice. And when I got to talk to them, they explained about the looping method and all these great academic things that they had, as well as the way that they approach their students. It's a 1 to 20 student ratio with the teachers, which is something that is very important for students, especially because to me, it was because of my daughter that I wanted her to be up to par with her reading level. And I believe that Bay Point has made a difference thus far for my daughter. She comes home very happy. She always speaks highly about her teachers as well as the staff. And what I've noticed is that I'm going to volunteer. They meet all the protocols when it comes to volunteering, fingerprinting. I just love how they are very organized. And I urge you guys to please keep the school open, because for me and for many other kids, it's an option. Some of us do come from far away, and unfortunately, not to bash on my city's district, but unfortunately, the school system is not that great there. So thank you very much for your time.
Good evening, my name's Susanna. Your mission policy proudly promises an unparalleled educational experience, a place where students are challenged, inspired, and poised to excellence. I always thought those were just words coming out of your mouth until my son attended Bay Point. For the first time, I have seen that mission come to life at Bay Point. He's not only learning, but he is thriving. He is a kid on an IEP who didn't attend a full week of school ever. He is in the 3rd grade. He was called out 2 or 3 times out of the week. We have been not even a month into the school. He has attended every day and he is happy. He wakes up excited to attend, well, not afraid to attend school. He's supported, he's engaged, and he is genuinely happy. Shutting down would be more than closing a building. It would be breaking a promise to families like mine and others. We have finally found a school that lives up to everything your district claims to stand for. Do not take that away from our children. Do not shut the doors on their potential. Keep the school open, not only for my child, but for everyone who deserves a chance to be inspired and included. Thank you.
There's no more speakers.
All right, this public hearing is now closed. 9.2, resolution number 05-25/26, denying the renewal petition of Bay Point Preparatory Academy, San Diego. Tiffany. Mhm.
Good evening. I want to begin by saying thank you, a sincere thank you to all who have been involved in this charter review process. Thank you to Mr. Aguaro, to Ms. Char, to the entire staff of Bay Point, all of the SMUSD staff that has been involved in the renewal process. Thank you. And the numerous members of the community who have taken the time to offer their input. This presentation will briefly outline the staff findings.
Oh.
This one, I apologize.
So this presentation tonight is simply briefly going to outline the findings and recommendations regarding the charter school petition that were posted on August 27th. So as you are aware, Bay Point is currently authorized by the State Board of Education with its charter set to expire June 30th, 2026. The renewal process included a site visit by SMUSD on June 4th, 2025, staff and legal review of the petition, which was received on June 16th, a public hearing on August 14th, and the publication of findings and recommendations on August 27th, 2025. As you are also aware, the charter review process is based on statute. Renewal petitions must meet the same standards as initial petitions, including a comprehensive review of the 15 key elements. It must also address new requirements enacted since the original charter was granted. And on the authorizer side, the chartering authority must consider academic performance, and denial of renewal requires factual findings supporting very specific reasons: an unsound educational program, demonstrably unlikely to successfully implement the program, the petition does not contain affirmation of the conditions set forth in Ed Code, or it does not contain reasonably comprehensive descriptions of the 15 elements. Charter schools are also categorized into high, middle, and low tiers based on the California dashboard performance. High-tier schools do have a presumptive renewal unless there are findings of substantial fiscal or governance issues. The school must be given notice and opportunity to cure, and corrective actions have been unsuccessful or the violations are too severe for a corrective action plan. So as I give you an overview of the staff findings, I first want to say, when we look at the academic program based on the California dashboard indicators, Bay Point Preparatory falls into the high tier performance category. However, staff noted serious fiscal and governance concerns that resulted in a notice of substantial fiscal and governance factors being presented to Bay Point on July 3rd. In that notice, the district indicated several fiscal concerns: unreasonable enrollment and ADA projections leading to inflated revenue, concerns about debt repayment if enrollment targets aren't met, and concerns regarding the assumptions related to a charter school facility grant. Additionally, there was a governance concern related to unlawful teleconference meetings due to a lack of physically present quorum. On August 4th, Bay Point responded to the district's notice. To address governance, they proposed ratifying past board actions taken without a quorum at their August 4th meeting. Regarding enrollment and budget projections, Bay Point stated they will implement a plan to reduce expenditures without negatively impacting student services if they did not reach projected enrollment numbers. This response has been taken into account in staff's final recommendation regarding the charter petition. So there are three findings that we highlight in the final review. First, the petition lacks reasonably comprehensive descriptions of required elements. Specifically, this technical issue. The petition did not provide a means to achieve a balance of student groups and procedures for student suspension, expulsion, or involuntary removal. Secondly, the petition was not updated to reflect the current program or intended facility location for the school. Lastly, and most significantly, the staff found that the charter school was demonstrably unlikely to successfully implement the program due to substantial fiscal factors. The corrective action plan proposed by Bay Point was insufficient in addressing fiscal concerns, and staff continues to view these concerns as sufficiently severe and pervasive, making a corrective action plan unviable. As a result, the district charter review team recommends that the Board of Education deny the renewal petition by adopting resolution number 5/2526. Thank you. And at this time, I turn things back over to the board for their discussion. The district's attorney, Ms. Harris, is here if you have any questions for her.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. All right, prior to taking action on this item, is there any discussion from the board?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions and also just statements. I think that is it on? Okay, is that better? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I think that we've had charter schools before that we've approved, and I absolutely think that you still can't hear me? Hello? Okay. It's on. It says it's on. Okay. I don't know if that'll be better or not. Okay. Turn that one off. Okay. Are we good? I'm just going to do this. Okay. So I absolutely believe that that parent choice is important. We have multiple charter schools and parochial schools, et cetera, in San Marcos. And when we've done charter approvals in the past, I think one of the things that we noted was, the fact that there are things that certain charter schools are able to do that we just can't do because of our size and things like that. And I'm very much aware of that. I do have a question about if the board adopts a resolution to deny the renewal, what happens to Bay Point and its students? Yes, please.
Thank you very much. If you adopt the resolution, what that means is that the charter would not be renewed at the end of the current term. So it currently is scheduled to expire at the end of the school year. So the rest of the school year would continue on as normal. Also, they have appeal rights to the State Board of Education. So there is an opportunity that if the state board decides to approve it, then they would continue to operate under whatever length of term that is approved. If the state board chooses not to, then they would stop at the end of the current term. And then they would be able, to, attend any school that either their school of residence or a charter school or private school or any other option that they might have.
Okay, so do they have the opportunity to cure any of the findings that we've had? Would they do that with the state, or do they have the rest of the year to kind of resubmit? How would that go?
Yeah, the state would just consider the whatever is submitted for them to review, and it would be up to the state to determine whether or not they believe it's sufficient and meets the legal requirement.
Okay, but it wouldn't come back to us?
No.
Okay.
So I have a question. So from what I understand at like a 10,000 foot level is that Bay Point is a high ranking academically. I've heard great things. I've seen great things from your students. So that's great. We had a couple of concerns. One was around governance. The other one was around fiscal, projections. The governance piece, Bay Point has corrected. The fiscal piece, there is still concern around that, significant concern around that fiscal concern. My question is, as San Marcos Unified, why is that? I mean, why would we deny them on those fiscal basis? Like, what?
Why does that matter?
Yeah, why does it matter?
Well, there's a couple things. Academic performance, past academic performance is one thing. It really doesn't have a correlation as to whether they're currently or projected to be fiscally viable. Those are two very separate things. A school takes money to operate, obviously, to pay its staff, to pay for its facilities, to do all the things that you do to run your district. And so fiscal is super important. But as an oversight agency, if you were to grant the charter, you are responsible essentially for overseeing and making sure that they are doing the right things, that they're being successful, that they're complying with their charter and all that. There's actually a provision in the Ed Code that says that a chartering authority, once for a nonprofit, which they are, if they're granted, the chartering authority is not to be liable for the debts and obligations and for the acts and errors and omissions of the charter school if you comply with all of your oversight responsibilities, essentially. And so what the practical effect of that is that whenever there is a debt, a lawsuit, whatever, the district gets named also. And then the argument is made to say they didn't do their oversight properly, or they didn't, that's always going to be the arguments because you're the deep pocket, right? So for any plaintiff or claimant, is going to name the district. So the same would be true for granting a charter if you know that they are serious fiscal concerns and very well might not be successful as projected. And so I would expect that the district could get named for that as being basically negligently approving it if it knew, based on the fiscal analysis, that it's unlikely to be successful fiscally in the next several years.
So essentially, we would be legally liable.
You could be, yes. And you certainly would be named. You certainly would be named.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And I also wanted to, you mentioned the two findings, the fiscal.
Yeah.
Those two were specifically with respect to this notice. They had 30 days. It's a certain provision in the law that talks about high performing. But in addition to those two, they are, as a high performing, still also legally required to update their petition to reflect any new laws that were put into place since they were last granted or renewed, and to reflect their current program. So that's where those other findings come into place.
Okay.
They did not update that to reflect current law and to reflect their current operations.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, topics?
I'm trying to articulate what is happening in my head. Give me a minute.
Would you like me to remain here, or I can sit down and come back if you need me?
Yeah, I guess my big question is, if we deny the petition, they have, the students currently will have through the end of the school year while they appeal it to the state. My assumption is the state is going to approve it.
I don't know what the state will do. I mean,
Okay.
it's a different, possibly might have a different.
Does the state have different, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the letter from the Department of Education. And so I'm wondering that whether or not the state is going to be looking at different information than we are able to look at and make a decision on.
So that's a very good question. I think the letter you're referring to is the one where the CDE said, we've done our site visit and we've concluded you're in compliance with the current charter and the MOU.
Yeah.
So those are looking at totally different things.
Okay.
The current charter and the MOU and compliance with that is totally different than looking at a renewal petition and what it needs to include, which includes updates to the law. And now you have new fiscal projections and all that. So they were really looking at totally different things. So if it does get appealed to the state, though, they will now look at the things that you looked at. Is it a sufficient renewal petition? And, again, I can't predict what CDE would do. I believe the last time CDE actually recommended denial, it was denied also by the county, but it was the board that approved it over the recommendation of CDE staff. So it's hard to predict an outcome like that. And if they do grant it, by the way, then they would designate an oversight authority, typically locally. So it could, with conversations, hopefully, it would be a local authority. It wouldn't be the state overseeing it locally. So it would either be the county office or yourselves. I don't know if that's something that would happen, but they have to have an oversight agency.
Okay.
It does go to the state. Do we know what an anticipated timeline would be?
Oh, I forgot the timelines on that, but they're clearly now in an early stage in the year, right? So there is time for it. Sometimes when there's a renewal in spring, it's difficult. There isn't time for an appeal. But being September, they have plenty of time.
So the charter brought up some additional information. The charter school brought up some additional information in response to the report. Should we be taking this into consideration tonight?
You know, as a board, I think you always listen and consider what you're hearing, right? In terms of, depends on what information you're talking about, but if you're talking about the cure and correct type of the fiscal concerns, that was a 30-day period, and that's what's required by law, is that we give them at least 30 days to cure and correct. And at that point, it's really hard to take into consideration seriously anything presented after that, because staff has to analyze it and they have to post their recommendations at least 15 days in advance. And so that's not something that is possible. So yes, you can consider it, but it's from a practical standpoint, essentially the staff considers it cut off at the time of the end of that 30-day period for those factors. For the other pieces, they said, well, we didn't include it in our charter, but this is what we meant or what we would do or that sort of thing. I will point out that the charter process is very prescriptive in the law, and it talks about, you know, this is a 90-day review period. From the time that they submit a charter that is deemed complete, they literally have to say, we deem this complete. And there's a reason for that, because then you have the full picture and you have staff analyzing it and you have legal analyzing it. So it's very difficult to, after it's submitted, to say, oh, no, we can fix this, this, and this without having the opportunity again to review it, analyze it, and give you some good advice on that. Any other questions for me right now, or? I'll take a seat, but I'm available if you need me.
All right. You all good? Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution number 5-25/26?
So moved.
Any seconds? Okay. Moved by member Miam, seconded by member Carlson to adopt resolution number 5-25/26 as presented. Our student board reps have left for the evening. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. 9.3 certified and classified personal changes include hiring, resignation, leaves of absence, promotions, retirements, and reassignments. Joel.
Good evening, board members. Take a minute, yeah.
Yeah, let's take a break for 5 minutes.
Let's take a picture of the name. And the lawyer, oh, Murphy and Lapham, are you kidding me, lawyer? Yeah, oh, wow, that is unbelievable level of respect. Wow. That's what you guys are saying.
You want to refresh the page? How about I refresh the page? Is that a
Yeah.
good idea?
Yeah.
What should I be calling it? High bond.
I don't even have it open.
I'll leave it to you. But if I have another minute, let me just walk around real quick.
Can you, are we on pause on the,
It's a wide shot. Want me to turn the mics down?
no, that's okay. Cause it goes to this, right? I'm gonna log back into Diligent. Give me just a second.
Might be a hot.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for a quick walk.
Mhm. Oh, Tom, I'm gonna need to get into Gmail, actually, I think. Is there a way to,
Yes.
is there a way to like, yeah, I need to go into Gmail to get my,
No problem.
sorry,
Give me just a minute. I'll
sorry.
rearrange this input.
Sorry.
All right. I'm sorry. I brought up the wrong presentation for Tiff.
Oh, that's okay.
I brought up Aaron's presentation.
I just don't want, yeah, perfect, thank you. Let's get that right link. It's odd because I didn't even sign into, I didn't open that resolution. So that's what's kind of odd.
Should have muted you.
That's okay.
It is.
It's okay.
Well, your daughter did very well.
Thank you. I was like so nervous.
No, she did fine.
Oh, thank you.
So, if you want, you can text me.
See, okay, so now we're back and we're still in presentation mode, so I'm just wondering, let's go to, we are at, we just did that. So we will be here at this item. Can you make sure? Okay, so now we can project up there, and I think this is what's showing to the, I think this is what's showing to everybody, and I can close out all of these, right?
Yeah, the only one left is the PowerPoint for Aaron.
Oh, and then it's PowerPoint.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
that's
get rid of it.
separate.
Okay.
That's this one here.
Okay, lovely. All right. So I think that's where we're at.
Okay.
So let's see
They're
if,
supposed to look. Is that the voting?
yeah, you're right.
No, I didn't. They're all hot. Here, I should go mute that. I wanted to go.
Number 9.3, certified and classified personal changes include hiring, resignation, leaves of absence, promotions, retirements, and reassignments. Joel.
Yes, good evening, board members. As part of tonight's personnel agenda, I'm pleased to recommend Charity Shepherd as the new assistant principal at San Marcos Middle School. As you can tell, Ms. Shepherd is in the audience, and so is her fan club. Ms. Shepherd brings more than a decade of experience as a teacher, instructional coach, and school leader within San Marcos Unified. She has participated in or led initiatives, including her contributions to the Portrait of a Graduate, Future Ready Career Labs, and small learning communities, all designed to strengthen student engagement and success. Recognized as a District Teacher of the Year and SDCOE Innovative Teacher of the Year, she's widely respected for her innovation in project-based learning and teacher professional development. Ms. Shepherd holds a multiple subjects teaching credential, a CTE credential, and a Master's in Educational Leadership with an Administrative Services credential. Her strong track record of collaboration, innovation, and student-focused leadership will make her an excellent addition to the San Marcos Middle School administrative team. And we are joined this evening, as you heard, by the administrative team of San Marcos Middle School. And tonight they had their back to school night. So they've had a long day, and we really thank them for being here tonight. This is an action item with a recommendation to approve the personnel agenda as presented.
Joel.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the certified and classified personal changes, including hiring, resignation, leaves of absence, promotions, retirements, and reassignments?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it. So moved by member Martine, seconded by member Ahmad to approve the personnel changes as presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Yep.
Congratulations, Charity.
Welcome to the team. All right, 9.4, public hearing, availability of instructional materials for the 2025-26 school year. Tiffany.
Education Code 60119 mandates an annual public hearing and resolution by the governing board confirming sufficient standards-aligned textbooks and instructional materials in specified subjects. These are math, science, history, social science, ELA, ELD, world language, and health for all district pupils. The hearing is scheduled for September 11th, 2025.
All right. This public hearing is now open. Susie, is there anyone who wishes to speak?
There are no speakers.
All right. This public hearing is now closed. 9.5, resolution number 4-25/26, availability of instructional materials for the 2025-26 school year. Tiffany.
Tonight, I can affirm that the San Marcos Unified School District has provided each pupil with sufficient textbooks and/or instructional materials aligned to the academic content standards. Therefore, in accordance with Education Code Section 60119C, staff recommends adoption of Resolution 04-2526, availability of instructional materials for the 25-26 school year.
Right. Do I have a motion to adopt resolution number 4-25/26?
Make the motion.
Okay, any second? Okay. All right, so moved by member Herrick, seconded by member Carlson to adopt resolution number 4-25/26 as presented. Our student board reps have left for the night. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 9.6, 2024-2025 unaudited actuals financial report. Aaron. Yes, yeah, and then first by Herrick. Yes. Move by Herrick.
All right. Before I get started, I want to thank the entire fiscal staff for the hard work that they put in all summer. For those of you that don't know, July and August are the absolute busiest time for the business department, closing the books for the prior fiscal year. Especially the last 3 weeks is like absolute crunch time. I know I was communicating back and forth with the team all through Labor Day weekend. Lots of extra hours put in, especially the last couple weeks, to get this report done. So thank you out there to all the fiscal team for their hard work. We are at the end of the budget cycle for 24-25. It's a 15-month budget cycle. So we started way back in the prior June, and here we are in September presenting the actual results of our fiscal year 24-25. In terms of revenues for the general fund, we ended with $312.6 million. Bulk of that, as always, coming from LCFF, 73%, followed by other state revenues. Those are things like the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, ELAP, our Prop 28 Arts and Music in Schools lottery funds, and lots of other individual state grants coming from state sources. And then after state, followed by $35.1 million of local funds. The bulk of that comes for our special education program through our SELPA. About $15 million of that. The rest is interest earnings, our interagency service agreements, especially through our transportation department and other local donations that come in. And then the final source of revenues is come from federal sources, primarily for special ed and Title I. And we brought in about $10.6 million of federal funds last year. Moving into expenditures, we spent $320.2 million, with 84.3% of that on salaries and benefits for our staff, followed by services and operating expenses at 10.8%. Just as a reminder, the bulk of that is our utility bills to keep the lights on and the air conditioners going. That's a big piece of the service and operating budget. We have some books and supplies, and about 1.5% of these dollars were spent on capital outlay expenditures. So this is the result of the ending balances of our general fund for 24-25. With the closing of the books, we always break this out by unrestricted and restricted. And you'll see here that we are ending the year after we recognize all of our revenues and pay all the bills. We are recognizing reserves of right at 10%, and our total combined ending fund balance of $95.8 million in the general fund. I do want to point out here, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in some subsequent slides, is we are posting a deficit spending in the unrestricted general fund. That's always the piece we look at. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. And then just want to point out that the ending fund balance, the unrestricted ending fund balance of that $48.2 million does include $15.6 million of commitments. We'll talk about that on the next slide. If those commitments were not there, we would have reserves of 14.9%. But here we are officially reflecting the 10% as we have been the last several years for reserves. As we end the 24-25 year, we have $15.6 million of those commitments. I have them all listed here on the slide. The largest amount, they're listed in order of the highest amount first. So we have the declining enrollment mitigation that we set aside, the amount that we expect to decline for the next 3 years. Why? Because we believe that we will need that money that's now sitting in that ending balance to cover those unexpected expenses. Our revenues are going to start to drop over the next few years as the state pays us on fewer students, and we're not able to reduce our expenses fast enough. So we're going to need those funds to carry us over the next couple of years. Same thing with health benefit and pension increases for the next couple of years. That cash fair market value adjustment is just an accounting adjustment that we're required to do. It artificially inflates the ending balance, so we really can't spend that amount. So we're just recognizing it here. That's not really a spendable amount for us. And then some other smaller amounts of that where we have expenses that we need to make over the next couple of years. Okay, so wanted to spend a little bit of time here talking about the history of our surplus and deficit spending in the unrestricted general fund. You can see we have some historical information back there starting in 2020-21 year. You can see we've just gone through a year of very robust revenues in the state that we've benefited from. The first 2 years on there, 2021 and 21-22, we got very large amounts of one-time funds from related to COVID in those particular years. And as you know, all of those funds have now been fully spent down. And then in the last 2 years, where you can see we posted surpluses of 10 million and 12 million. Also, those were very good years for the state budget, where they had surpluses, and they gave some of those surpluses as one-time funds back to school districts as well. And we were the recipients of a couple very large one-time grants that we are continuing to spend down the last couple of years, and we will continue to spend on over the next 3 years as well. So, and then also we recognize that we received some large cost of living adjustments in those years. One year was 5%, 1 year was 8%. Just want to point out that the 24-25 year represents a shift in our budget that's going to continue for the next few years, we think, at this point in time. 24-25 was markedly different because all of the hold harmless from the COVID years related to enrollment and ADA have expired. And actually for last year, we received less funds in LCFF than we received the prior year by $4.7 million. So that was a challenge for last year. And then the cost of living adjustment was just barely over 1%, 1.07% last year. So that's why we start to see this deficit spending pop up in our budget. And it is projected to continue for the next 3 years. So I just wanted to kind of point that out and show that the last several years we've lots of robust growth, and we have shared that growth in negotiated salary increases for employees, but we're kind of seeing the shift, and it's going to be a challenge for the next several years. This is just the graph just to see where we've been of our ending fund balances on our reserve percentages. We have been able to maintain that right at about 10% reserve for the last 5 years. And then because of the deficit spending that we're projecting, the reserves will also drop over the next 3 years. Just want to point out that will it be this dramatic? Will we actually drop down to 3% by the end of that period? My answer would be no. Most likely we will not. Why? Because we see this happening. We will take proactive steps before we get there to kind of even that out. So it's not as dramatic of a drop there. And as you know, we've already begun doing those things. The board made a decision to reduce the budget for this year for 25-26 by $1.25 million. So we will continue to do those things to slow down the deficit spending over the next couple of years, because luckily we see this happening. We have time to plan and be ready for it, so we can maintain programs for our students as much as we possibly can. Okay, so that's the general fund. In addition, when we close the books, the district operates 14 other separate individual funds outside of the general fund. And I think the entire unaudited actions report is 214 pages, so all of those funds are represented there, available on our website for public review. I have tonight on the slide the 4 funds that have the most transactions in them, so just wanted to highlight those. The cafeteria fund first continues to be a very healthy fund. All of our child nutrition services programs are operated out of this fund. All of our staff is paid from here, and it posted a $2.2 million surplus for the fiscal year. Then we have our Kids on Campus fund. That's our paid by parents after school program. Also very stable, healthy balance there. And then new this year is our bond fund. This is our Measure JJ fund that we recognized I think it was June 17th. We successfully sold our Series A bonds, and we had our funds deposit in there. So we have a little over $149 million we started with. And as you know, those trucks were ready to go at Nob Hill the day after school was going. So that $1.9 million expenditure represents the last 2 weeks of work that was happening at Nob Hill in June. And we are ready to spend the rest of that $147 million. It's going to be spent pretty quickly here with all of the activities we have going on. And then we are lucky to have a very robust capital projects fund that we will continue to use and spend down to match with those local bond funds to complete the rest of our projects. All right, so this is it kind of for the board part of it, but we're not done yet for the fiscal department. We have to support the auditors as they come in to check the work that we've done to make sure it complies with all of the state requirements. They will be here auditing our accounts the week of October 6th. They will present the audit report to us by December 15th, and we will bring it to the January board meeting for your acceptance of the report. And then we will turn our attention to the 25-26 budget and subsequent years, so we can start working on that. So with that, staff does recommend approval of this 24-25 unaudited actuals report.
Thank you, Erin. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the 2024-2025 unaudited actual financial report?
So moved.
Okay, and I'll second. Moved by member Miam, seconded by member Ahmad to approve the 2024-2025 unaudited actuals financial report as presented. Student board reps have gone for the night. So all those in favor say aye. Aye, and motion carries. Consent agenda. Thank you, Erin. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda for discussion purposes? And I'll
Second.
Okay, moved by member Carlson, seconded by member Martine to approve the consent agenda for discussion purposes. Is there any discussion? All right, moved by member Carlson, seconded by member Martine. Student board reps are gone. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Information agenda. Update to resolution number 12-23/24, resolution of the governing board of San Marcos Unified School Districts authorizing emergency restoration at Korea Elementary in lieu of a formal bid. Erin.
So way back in November 9th, 2023, the district passed this resolution to authorize emergency restoration services at Korea Elementary following significant water intrusion in 2 of their classrooms. While the initial remediation successfully addressed the immediate flooding issue, the ongoing water intrusion from an unknown source prevented the full restoration of these classrooms at that time. But now that the very large-scale asphalt drainage and field project is completed there and the underlying flooding issues have been resolved, the district can now move forward with restoring these 2 classrooms to their original condition. The district intends to use this emergency exception to bidding that was authorized by the resolution in order to expedite the restoration of these classrooms. The project is expected to incur an additional cost of approximately $250,000. And the original resolution anticipated a cost of $137,000. We do expect the majority of these costs will be covered by our property insurance as we filed a claim for this water intrusion incident. And so by law, the district is required just to update the board when the scope or the monetary amounts of an emergency resolutions change. No formal action is required. This is just an informational item to make sure the board is aware of that increased scope and a change to the amount of the original resolution.
Thank you, Erin. All right, closing items. The next regular board meeting will take place on Thursday, October 9th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. in the Media Center of the North County Regional Education Center, 255 Pico Avenue, San Marcos, California, 92069. With that, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, John.